Yesterday was a really great day for XRP. In just 20 to 30 minutes, it went up more than 20%, which was a huge gain. Even though the price of XRP has started to stabilize and fix itself, there is a lot of good news coming for the whole crypto world that will definitely cause the price of XRP to rise in a way we've never seen before. Finally, Ra Power is going to tell us what's really going on in the macro world, which is something that most people are missing right now because of all the crashes that have been happening lately. Also, I have to say that I'm really excited to tell you guys what I found in video today. Let's get right to it. Before we talk about this amazing news, I want to quickly point out that in the video I posted yesterday, I opened up 3 long bets for XRP. I opened up those 3 spots for between 48 and 50 cents. I did take winnings on all 3 of those long XRP bets because, well, it was a great chance to make a crazy amount of money. Between all of my long XRP bets, I made about $10,000 in about 30 minutes. I will also be presenting these jobs in my YouTube video if you guys want to have the chance to film them with me. Do what it says and sign up for Margex as well. That way you can open them on the same market as me for the same or similar starting prices. You will also get a lot of crypto prizes just for trading crypto with me. That being said, let's hear what Ra Power has to say because it is truly amazing. You see, the world economy has been slow, so we've needed to do something to speed it up. The ISM measure has been near the bottom. China and Europe are both slow. And you can see that one of the parts that makes this whole thing move wasn't really cooperating. At first it was US rates, but the Fed told us that. Things began to move. King dollar is the big one. The dollar is strong. And when the dollar is strong, money is tighter, which is bad for both markets and businesses. As you can see, you need a lower dollar at this point in the cycle, when there is no inflation or inflation is falling quickly. Well, that makes the world grow. You may know that Janet Yellen visited China twice earlier this year. I think that part of the talk was about how to let China grow without hurting the yuan. So if China had done something while the dollar was strong, the yuan would have fallen, which they can't handle. Their currency needs to stay strong. In their message to the US, they will have said, we get it, we need to stimulate, but we can't stimulate, you need to help us. Yellen would have replied, of course, what can I do? The answer is clear, you need to lower rates. That's like, yes, we get that, that's going to happen. Then it's like, you need to make the dollar weaker. Let's go to the Bank of Japan. The Bank of Japan is the main person involved. For its part, the Bank of Japan has been getting weaker and has begun to sound like it wants to do something about it. That means the market for Japanese banks is the market for Eurodollars. Japan is really the one who lends dollars around the world. Japan also didn't have enough dollars, that's what they had to do, but the world doesn't have enough money. That means both Powell and Yellen will have talked to the Japanese. And the idea is that when you mess with the currency, you're putting money into it. Help us bring down the value of the dollar. Because of how you handle your cash, you can be the main driver here. We will cut rates in return, and the Chinese will be able to boost their economy without losing control of their currency. Some time ago, I wrote and talked about that subject. This was the main idea, so we began to see yen get involved. The yen is interesting because many people borrow it because it's cheap, even though the Japanese are also raising interest rates, after which they buy other assets. The capital trade is the name for it. That's fine, and it can handle standard fluctuations. But when the Japanese got involved with the currency, it started to push people out of their jobs. It gets less beneficial to be in those roles. Because of this, they have to lower the risk, value at risk, or VAR is what banks and hedge funds call it. So if they're funding currency or any big currency changes a lot, they should be able to do it. Is starting to have to sell other positions that started to hit risky assets on the NASDAQ as people cut back on positions with higher volatility. This hits all assets in the chain. That's why you get this link between one event and the way things move when they weren't linked before. It's because everyone has to take a risk at the same time. So the risk of throwing up had begun and then really picked up speed. For all of us, this is like, what the F are you doing? You are heating up my bags. I get it. But once more, there's a bigger game to play. They want money to flow into the system, which is the bigger picture. And you'll need a government change to make it happen. That leads to a macro cramp. These big spasms happen all the time. As the business cycle goes through changes, you're more likely to get one. In 2018, we saw one. That was the last walk of the journey. We saw this spasm back then because the market pretty much pushed the Fed to change its mind about Powell's turn moment. Basically, what Brawl Powell is saying is that these recent jerks we've seen in the Japanese markets and the rise in their interest rates, which has affected a number of tech stocks and many other currencies that people borrow to trade, are only temporary. These things don't happen very often, and what we've seen so far is that there are big drops in the market followed by a very sharp and steep correction that happens very quickly. For XRP, we already know that all it takes is a little bit of supply for its price to go through the roof. In short, it would be stupid not to buy XRP when its price drops 20%. If you don't do this and open a long trade as soon as it hits the bottom, you will lose a huge amount of money that will change your life. And this is also true for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and all of these other assets. Even though there wasn't any big news about Solana other than Brazil giving Solana ETFs, the price went up 18% on the same day that XRP was going through the roof. Yeah, this just shows that these bad days are only temporary. Don't believe it. Get those trousers, guys. On a bad day, it usually prices out at the end. over the next 24 hours, you'll know where things are going and can make your choice. And if you do that, you'll probably make a lot of money, like I did on Margix not long ago and showed you the records for. Now that you know all of that, Raoul Pal is going to tell you more about some very specific signs that you need to look out for. For sure, this shows you and gives you a strong sign. To figure out where the markets are going, indicators that come after events usually happen a little while after many of the things we've seen lately. Did you all pay close attention? This could change your financial future. Let's start the cycle. Remember that I said the business cycle is ending, not beginning. I'm aware that there's a lot of talk about it. A lot of that was priced in last in 2022 based on signs that looked ahead. We have the parts of the economy that go through cycles. Things that are affected by the business cycle include slow-moving items like cars and mines. The economy is still going up and down. Some people say, yeah, but look, it did roll down, yes. It takes place at every cycle's low point. This is the fix you usually get, and that's where we are now. You can see that there has been a second dip before the rebound over the last 20 years. I think that's where we are now. It sounds like noise because prices in most of the markets I focus on, like crypto and tech, depend on how liquid they are and how much money they have. But since the economy is still pretty slow, rate cuts are pretty much a done deal, and things like unemployment are what keep them that way. I've said for a while that unemployment should go up. I don't think things will get really crazy. But now we've gone beyond. The member of the Fed with the worst jobless rate. Now it's clear that rates should go down, and the Fed has made that clear. They might come sooner or later, and they might add cash in different ways. But no matter what, unemployment has been going up, which is important for the Fed, and inflation has been going down, which is also important for the Fed.